This sneaker in specific has been catching a lot of flack because as of yesterday, Nike Sneakers has confirmed that the shock drop that happened for them last week is the only drop that they're going to be putting out. So tomorrow is canceled. You can get them through your tier 0 retailers and pairs that have already been raffled. But wow, these things are probably going to go up. But ladies and gentlemen, no further ado, I am talking about the Carolina UNC Jordan 6. Starting off with the upper, we have a nice little mixture of tumbled leather, what it feels like, with some nubuck, not suede, closest thing to suede that you're gonna get, but it actually looks very, very nice on this Jordan shoe, considering I'm not the biggest Jordan 6 fan, but it's something about the UNC colorway that just does it for me. I can't put my finger on it. Instead of the traditional Nike or Jumpman that we get on the back of the Jordan 6, we actually got that nice Team Jordan patch that was put on the tongue of the Air Jordan 4. Not a lot of people were a fan of that considering the placement of that, but I feel like a lot more people are going to be more fond of this tag being that it's going to be in the back of the shoe and doesn't really necessarily get in the way of like the front design or anything like that. And personally, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this Team Jordan patch just gives it that much more of an exclusive look compared to all the other Jordans that are put out on a regular. We got the beautiful icy sole. I love the icy sole, probably one of my favorite details on a Jordan, like of all time. Icy sole, I need it. But the one thing that I am gonna go ahead and point out with this shoe is that yes, you see the black, but this lace lock is actually not black. This is actually navy blue, and yes, it matches the tongue. I get that. It's still a nice aesthetic, but in my personal opinion, I feel like the color blocking should have matched this Carolina blue with this lace lock. Would have been a nice subliminal detail just to kind of match with everything, but I guess if we're coming from a standpoint of, does this make this shoe pop? Yes, it does. QC seems to be okay compared to all the pairs that I've seen on the internet, but one thing that I will point out that might end up being a factor on your pair is right here, I have some black that is rubbing off of this into the white, and you really cannot tell from the camera, I don't think, but when you take your pair out the box, when you do get one, you might want to see if that mark is there, because depending if you're rocking it to feet, which, you know, it doesn't matter, but if you're going to be reselling it, it may have a price on what you're able to get back. So definitely check around the midsole for any paint markings. All right, so let's talk about market. Right now, there's no pair on StockX under $287. Anything is up from that, and that's discounting the taxes and the fees, and that's pretty damn high, and the shoe hasn't came out as of yet. But do I think the price will fall? No, and there's a few reasons why I believe that. Number one, this is a University of Carolina colorway. This will forever travel with Jordan no matter where he goes in the shoe line. That's his alma mater. It's always going to be high with this colorway. I feel like no matter what the silhouette is, check the Jordan 4s, check the Jordan 6s, check the Nike Dunks, the UNCs. Those colorways are always high as hell when it comes to resale market, but that's one reason why this price is not going to go down. Number two, there was a lot of pairs floating around of these like late 2021. A lot of people were claiming team early, I got this, and woo woo. I'm not here to determine if your pairs were real or fake, but point being is that there were a lot of these in circulation during pre-market. Generally, when there is a high quantity of pairs that are out before the release date, that sometimes ends up impacting the regular release for the worldwide, and there's not a lot of pairs to go around. And I feel like this is probably the exact thing with this one. So this definitely is going to shoot up, but I want to tell you what the price range is probably going to be like. This shoe is going to be a solid $280 to $340 shoe for the first week, just because of the hype, the limited amount of pairs and whatnot. But if we actually take a look back at the UNC Jordan 4, prices were high before the shoe came out, and then once the shoe came out, they kind of dipped a little bit, but then like a couple months passed by, and like now the shoe is literally sitting in like the $400 range after taxes, $500, which is fucking insane. But that also dials back to the popularity of the light blue UNC colorway. But give it about 5 to 6 months or so, I wouldn't doubt that we see this become a $400 shoe, maybe $450. It just really depends what the final numbers are looking like. Apparently sneakers dropped about $69K. All the other retailers, I really don't know the other numbers, but I know that the charts that were put out, it was close to around 69,000 pairs in that shock drop. And will Nike do a restock? Maybe here and there, but I wouldn't count on it. Kind of like keeping it real with you guys on the shoe. This shoe is not going to be an easy shoe to grab. Sneakers dropped about 69,000 pairs on their shock drop last week, and they did confirm they are not doing another Saturday release of these. So if you did not win a raffle or hit on the shock drop, you guys are going to be paying in the ballpark like $280 to $340 weekend of release for these bad boys. And it's not going to get any cheaper. I'm advising you guys that right now. If that is going to indicate anything, if you want this shoe, I would recommend that you try to get your hands on it now. Try to offload a few pairs that you do not wear in your collection so the hit to your wallet doesn't seem as heavy, but not an easy grab.